Good evening. It is June 30th at 6:42 p.m. and this is a meeting of the Personnel Committee. I am Lynn Snee. To my left is Mr. Phillips. To my right, Mr. Pierce. And we are here to consider authorizing the Director of Public Service and Safety to enter into an agreement with the law firm of Jackson Lewis P.C. for general employment-related services. Mr. Titterington.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So Jackson Lewis has been our labor attorney. They work with us on all matters related to union, non-union employee issues or opportunities. In years where we have negotiations at the end of the year, the council has always asked at the beginning of the term or the beginning of the year in January to do an authorization because we are relatively certain that our annual costs will exceed the administrative authorization, and so we get that out in advance. In the other 2 years, there are some years where we just monitor it during the year. There have been years where it has not gotten close to the limit, but other years where it has, and we've come back to you in the past. This is a year where we anticipate that we probably will go over the $77,250 administrative limit, and so we are asking for council's authorization so that we stay legal. Reasons are negotiations, final payments from the negotiations last year, MOU discussions, memoranda of understanding discussions. We've had some grievance and other employee-related matters, investigations, etc. Jackson Lewis, Emily from Jackson Lewis, I believe you've all met her. She works very closely with staff and with Mr. Kerber, providing us some advice, support, and resolution, which is our ultimate goal. They've been the firm for many years. Their hourly rate is comparable to other firms, but we benefit from the fact that they know our Chapter 141, which is the personnel non-union code, as well as our union contracts, and she and her colleagues have negotiated several of them over the years. We are not asking for emergency legislation.
Okay. Mr. Phillips, any questions?
I do not have any questions on this item.
Mr. Pierce.
I had a question about knowing what kind of controls we have in place to ensure accurate billing when it comes to them. I'm just not familiar with the process. Is there any type of oversight that is there? What does that look like? Could you enlighten us?
Well, we keep track of the conversations that we have with her, and of course we know when she's working on our behalf. Typically, staff is involved directly with her when there are issues, matters that need to be resolved. We do see an itemized list of all the work, like any contract attorney, whether it's labor or land, real estate, whatever kind of services that one might need. So we get an itemized list that we approve every month before payment is made, and if we have a question about what was done, then she's very quick to provide us the justification.
Thank you.
So when we do a professional services agreement, is there a limit? I mean, obviously the authorization threshold, you say you were possibly exceeding it. What is the threshold or limit?
There's not ever a limit put, like not to exceed number on legal services. There never has been. It's one of those unique contracts that we have because we just don't know what might come up during the year.
So how would you normally report to council if we were going beyond that amount? I mean, if you're anticipating that there's the potential of that, how would you communicate with council that we were exceeding what we had anticipated?
If you, I could provide an email saying, okay, we've gone over the administrative limit, just so you know that we've gone over it, but you're providing the authorization in advance so that we're not coming back to you and after the fact asking for ratification or retroactive authorization. We don't want to do that.
I agree with the authorization. I just would like the communication, as if we're anticipating going beyond that threshold amount.
I would
Mr. Phillips.
assume that at some point, while negotiations are going on, we're going to be in the know of whether we
Right.
have some difficult things and can probably assume that at some point.
I
And
do.
that billings coming in and approaching that $77,000 figure, that's when staff would probably be coming back and saying, we're going to need X, potentially.
Mm-hmm.
Some authorization for another number at some point.
Well, I think we're giving
No.
that authorization right
Yes,
now.
you are. So it's a
Beyond
blanket
that.
authorization.
Beyond the
So-
Saying, well, your authorization is not up to 77,250. It's saying we anticipate that it'll go past that number. So you're giving us authorization to use Jackson Lewis as is necessary. You're providing the official approval, and you've done that in the past.
Right.
And like I said, legal services is a little different than professional services or construction contracts.
I'm sorry, I was anticipating the 2025 as a 2026, not a 25 number, sorry.
Yeah.
So,
And I agree
understand.
that we will know if we're starting to have issues that would require the services. I just would appreciate that communication if we are anticipating going over that amount.
We are anticipating going over that.
I
At the
mean,
moment we do. I
When
can
we
let you
do,
know.
when we have the issue that is causing us to go beyond that. Are there any other questions from other council members? Mr. Wooden?
Yeah. I can't, it does feel a little bit like, and I don't want to couch it in such negative terms, it does feel like a blank check, like we don't know where this is. I don't anticipate this going to $1 million, but this could certainly get into 85, 100,000. I mean, that's within reason, correct?
You just don't know. We don't know what kind of events are going to come up, what kind of issues might arise in the next 6 months. You know, if an employee or if somebody on the outside against an employee sues us or files a grievance or files an unfair labor practice, you know, if a resident or a business person finds fault, you know, with an employee for some employment-related reason, you just can't say. There's no cap that we can put on it, and we've never done that before.
But we don't have a mechanism in place, a firm mechanism in place to advise council of where we're at.
We've never had one, other than, I do know that we have a report that we put in the items of interest whenever we have payments above a certain amount. Not aware if Jackson Lewis ever triggers that, but in an unusual circumstance, they might.
We will see that number, though, in the budget when we review 2026.
There is-
You will see what 2025
There is an annual
was.
number in that budget, yeah, yes.
But you'll see what's recognized, what we
You,
actually spent.
and you will in the budget see what was spent in the budget document on the previous years as well,
Right.
yes, but it is a year behind.
Yep.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Anyone in the audience have any questions? If not, what is your preference?
proceed as staff is requesting.
Mr. Pierce?
Proceed.
So it is unanimous to proceed as staff has requested. And we have no other items, so we are adjourned.
Correct.
Yeah.
Thank you.